You're listening to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for your expanded local news. Voters in Shelbyville will see a referendum question on their spring primary ballot relating to the city's public school district. That primary election day is set for Tuesday, March 17th. In December, the Board of Education voted to approve the addition of the new referendum to the ballot. They are asking for the public support for the construction of a new building to house the elementary school. The price tag for this project would be $40 million. The school district would like to hear voters' input and will provide opportunities to do so. The ballot question reads: Shall the Board of Education of Shelbyville Community Unit School District Number 4, Shelby County, Illinois, build and equip a new Shelbyville Elementary School building, alter, repair, renovate, and equip portions of the existing facilities of the district and improve sites, and issue bonds of said school district to the amount of $40 million for the purpose of paying the costs thereof? Voters will then choose either yes or no. Shelbyville School Superintendent Shane Shurick is overseeing this process and would continue to do so for the project if the vote passes. He says the current building is over a century old and is short on space.
We are out of space. I would like to point out that our existing Main Street Elementary School, it's 100 years old. Actually, it's 101 years old now. It was 1925, and now we're in 2026. And education looks a lot different from 1925 to 2026. And when we talk about space, currently the district, we don't have all of our elementary kids under one building. Our current Main Street Elementary is a first grade to third grade. Our kindergarten students are housed in our high school. We rent space from the Methodist Church for students, elementary students, to take both music and art. Our pre-K program is not within our elementary building either. It's in mobile buildings, which are on site, but they're still not in the building.
If the vote passes, the district would then face the question of what to do with the old elementary school building when the new one is ready for use. All options are on the table, including selling it or just demolishing it.
Well, I mean, we have not determined for sure what we're going to do with that. We're looking at some different options right now. Yes. We obviously want whatever happens to that building to be a positive outcome for our community. So for that reason, we still need a little more further investigation on what we should do with that building. Sure. There have been talk about potentially keeping it and using it for different things. There have been talk about maybe trying to sell it. I mean, there's even been talk about demoing it as well.
I see.
So there's a lot that still needs to be worked out with that, but those are all questions that question would be answered if we're successful in March.
Yeah.
If we're successful in March, then we can definitely delve into that a little bit further.
And as for how the work would be financed, the school district would have 5 years to access up to $40 million in bonds. Shurick believes that the district has managed finances well, saying in part that the use of taxpayer funds has saved them money and helped keep them out of debt.
Well, I mean, we have not determined for sure what we're going to do with that. We're looking at some different options right now. Yes. We obviously want whatever happens to that building to be a positive outcome for our community. So for that reason, we still need a little more further investigation on what we should do with that building.
Sure.
There have been talk about potentially keeping it and using it for different things. There have been talk about maybe trying to sell it. I mean, there's even been talk about demoing it as well.
I see.
So there's a lot that still needs to be worked out with that, but those are all questions that question would be answered if we're successful in March.
Yeah.
If we're successful in March, then we can definitely delve into that a little bit further.
The school district plans to hold information sessions to discuss the referendum and answer voters' questions. Dates have not yet been determined, but they plan to reach out to voters when the sessions are scheduled.
Because you don't want to hide anything. You want people to be able to make a true, honest decision based upon factual information. One of the facts that we will be sharing is that our current school district has the second lowest tax rate in the entire area. And it's very, when you compare tax rates of school districts, some of them are neighbors. Well, I'm not going to name any names, but they're over $1 or more ahead of where we're at currently.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we're going to at least share that information so people realize that we believe we've done a good job financially trying to keep us in a spot where we might be successful, or a vote might be successful.
More information on the Shelbyville Community School District Number 4 is available at shelbyville.k12.il.us. Shane Shirk appeared as a guest on the WTIM Shelbyville Morning Show. Emergency crews spent more than 2 hours rescuing a trapped driver following a serious crash involving two semi-trucks south of Taylorville. The Taylorville Fire Department says the crash happened just before 9 a.m. on Friday morning on Route 48 near Clarksdale. Dispatchers were alerted to a possible entrapment while crews were on the way. When firefighters arrived, they found two semi-tractor trailers hauling soybeans that had been involved in a significant collision. One person was trapped inside a vehicle and had to be extricated. Fire crews launched an extensive rescue operation using multiple extrication tools at the same time to safely free the victim. Because of the severity of the injuries, a medical helicopter was called in to airlift the patient to a trauma center. The Taylorville Fire Department says the incident required a large-scale response and used all available extrication equipment and personnel. Several agencies assisted at the scene, including the Christian County Sheriff's Office, the Illinois State Police, Illinois Department of Transportation, Dunn's Ambulance, multiple area fire departments, and Air Evac Life Team. Fire officials also gave special thanks to Steve Kerwin of Curtos for his on-scene assistance, saying his expertise played a key role in the rescue. The Taylorville Fire Department says the incident shows the importance of strong cooperation between agencies and thanked everyone involved for their professionalism during the response. The Illinois State Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting in Springfield. Springfield police say they requested the Illinois State Police Division of Criminal Investigation to help take over the case. It happened Saturday evening around 5:13 p.m. in the 2400 block of Neal Road. Officers were attempting to stop a vehicle as part of an investigation when four people armed with guns got out of the car. Police say shots were fired and one person was hit. Officers immediately provided first aid and called for EMS. The injured person was taken to a local hospital and is listed in serious but stable condition. No officers were hurt. Several firearms were recovered at the scene. State Police special agents will conduct an independent investigation. Once it's complete, the case will be turned over to the Sangamon County State's Attorney's Office for review. This investigation remains active, and no additional information has been released. And police in Findlay are searching for a suspect after a traffic stop turned into a foot chase. The Findlay Police Department says officers conducted a traffic stop in the village on Friday, and during that stop, two people inside the vehicle ran from the scene on foot. One of the suspects was caught a short time later. The second suspect, identified as Kelsey Agnew, is still at large. Police say there is no known threat to the public related to the incident. Authorities are asking anyone who may know where Agnew is to contact the Findlay Police Department or the Shelby County Sheriff's Office at 217-774-3941. Findlay Police also thank the Shelby County Sheriff's Office for their assistance during the incident. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Looking to save more and stress less? This is Will Perkins. At Taylorville Community Credit Union, we're here to help you build a stronger financial future with great loan and deposit rates, convenient locations, and service from people you know and trust. We're member-owned, member-focused, and proud to serve anyone who lives or works in Christian, Montgomery, or Shelby counties. Discover the credit union difference. TCCU is your partner in financial success. Member NCUA.
The year may have changed, but the Shelbyville Public Library is still offering its many events to the community. The goal in recent years has been to get people out of their homes and through the library's doors. From true crime talks to paint nights and story times for kids, they have accomplished just that. These activities and many others will continue in the early months of the year and well beyond. For preschool age children, the library is hosting a story hour on Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Library Director Monica Cameron says other social activities help supplement these sessions.
The children have crafts, they have stories read to them. Those sessions generally last between 20 to 30 minutes because the attention span of 2 to 5-year-olds is not all that long. But it's enough to get them some socialization, work on some skills, and get them coming to the library. A lot of parents and grandparents and some sitters bring the kids in. And that gives them something to do in their day as well and get out of the house. If you are interested in registering any 2 to 5-year-olds for this Wednesday morning program, again, it is our 10 a.m. session. You can give us a call at 217-774-4432 and ask for Dawn.
The paint nights for adults are back as well. The next such event is this Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. Participants will use acrylic paint on canvases.
If you don't feel like you're creative, that's what the ideas are for. So you don't have to come up with an idea on your own. And if you're like, well, I don't know how to paint, that's great. Come on in. A lot of the people that have been returning when they first came in said the same thing. They didn't know how to start. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Now, do you have some instruction?
So what I've got my staff member who starts breaking down the painting for them, and she has people start with the background first, and then she'll guide them through with what they need to do next. It's completely up to them. They don't have to follow the colors on what we've got for their ideas. They can do their own thing. It has been very popular. We usually have up to 30 people come. There's no judgment at all. So come in, come experiment, come paint. If that's your only night out of the house that week, come and join us. You don't have to register for our adult paint night, and there is no fee.
Cameron credits her staff for turning these plans into reality. In addition, they are spearheading a craft event happening on January 22nd.
It's the staff. They make this possible. We have a great staff at the public library. They love jumping in and helping. They're also creative. So on January 22nd, I've got a couple of my staff members who are going to take some dowel rods and some twine and macrame cord and fairy lights and create these 3D stars that people can use for simple decor in their homes. So if you are interested in that again is going to be January 22nd from 5:30 to 7 p.m. We'll get you using the hot glue gun and making that decor happen.
The Shelbyville Public Library's True Crime Talks have been a fan favorite. Author Bob Cyphers is set to give a presentation called Midwest Cold Cases on Thursday, January 29th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m.
And Bob is a retired journalist from KMOV-TV, which is out of St. Louis, Missouri. And he was asked a number of years ago by the task force that was searching for the I-70 killer to follow them along their hunt, their search for the killer. And he has continued since that time to work with police on cases, which gives him a unique perspective. So the true crime program this month, he's going to be presenting instead of me presenting. I'm so interested in hearing his experience. I'm so glad to have the patrons that come get to hear his perspective. And he is also the author of Dead End, Inside the Hunt for the I-70 Killer, as well as 25 Frozen, One Thawed, Murder and Mayhem in the Midwest. And Cyphers is going to be presenting on Midwest cold cases in order to bring awareness to them.
And for those looking to offer a sweet treat for Valentine's Day, a donut decorating class will take place on Tuesday, February 3rd from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
So in case you want to make your sweetie or yourself a nice little treat for Valentine's Day on February 3rd from 5:30 to 7 p.m., we're going to have a donut decorating class for teens and adults, and we will have some pink and red icing as well as chocolate icing. Attendees will learn how to decorate using a round tip an open star tip and a closed star tip for this particular session. And again, that is going to be on February 3rd from 5:30 to 7 p.m. for teens and adults.
More information on the Shelbyville Public Library is available at shelbyvillelibrary.org. Monica Cameron appeared as a guest on the WTIM Shelbyville Morning Show. Despite the capture of the leader of Venezuela and the seizure of significant oil tankers, a leader in the energy sector believes the impact on Americans at the pump will be minimal. Earlier this month, U.S. Delta forces captured Nicolas Maduro and his wife in an operation called Absolute Resolve. With the move, President Trump says the U.S. companies should be able to invest billions into Venezuela, which produces under 1 million barrels a day. Even with the move, Patrick DeHaan from Gas Buddy has this to say. President Trump announced on his social media platform, Truth Social, that Venezuela is giving the U.S. between 30 and 50 million barrels of oil. However, DeHaan says the oil in Venezuela is heavy and dense, meaning it needs additives to make it clean. This will conclude the second portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by CNB Bank and Trust.
At CNB Bank and Trust, we believe banking should feel personal. Our checking accounts are designed to make everyday life easier with local service, modern tools, and a team who knows your name. We've been growing with our communities for generations, helping families and farmers and small businesses reach their goals. Because here, you're more than an account number, you're our neighbor. CNB Bank and Trust, helping to open doors since 1854. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. 75-year-old Anita K. Mullins of Taylorville died on January 7th. Visitation is today, January 12th, from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. at McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. Funeral service will be January 13th at 10 a.m. at McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. Burial will be at Oak Hill Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. Mary Jane Trauber Baird of Taylorville died December 16th. A celebration of life will be held January 21st at 1 p.m. at the Taylorville Moose Lodge in Taylorville. 75-year-old Michael L. Mateer of Edinburgh died December 30th. Visitation is January 17th from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Graveside service will be January 17th at 3:30 p.m. at Grove City Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com or hear them every hour on WTIM. WTIM is your only local news radio.